welcome everyone to our prayer journey daily devotion with my Tov. One of the things that we can be blessed in knowing if you are a Christian is that when you die, you're going to go to heaven, because it is very clear in the scriptures of the New Testament that that would happen. Now, often I go to funerals and the person lives like the devil, and people say, well, he's in a better place now. And according to the Bible, that is not so. And sometimes we are afraid to speak the truth, not to hurt someone. But sometimes we got to consider that damnation may be before them. And so if we have an opportunity, we need to speak up. But if you look at the Old Testament and the saints of the Old Testament, you will see how much, in a way, amazing their relationship is with God. Because they really did not fully understand the ability to go in heaven and be with God. Now I'm going to go over an example of that today. In fact, one time when I was out witnessing to people, I came to a Jewish man and I said, I have a gospel for you. He said, well, I'm Jewish. I don't believe in heaven or hell. And at the time, I was a young Christian, did not know how to answer that. And when you go through the Old Testament, sometimes it is more clear than others that there is a place for us with God after. And sometimes it's not so clear, especially when you go through the book of Job. There's times that he is saying things that look like there is no heaven, but then there are other times he speaks, and he speaks about heaven. Here is in a place that Job is right now that we're going to look at in chapter 14. And we're going to do a few verses from it. But Job does not really have an understanding of what life will be like after death. He had probably the one that they had most often. You would go in a place and you would just not exist, or exist consciously and just be in a safe place. Or not. But Job is suffering. He's under a lot of torment, a lot of things God allowed in his life that he could not handle any longer. And the worst part was his friends that were piling on, calling him a sinner. So this is what Job says. Listen to it, and I will try to explain it to the best of my ability. So, a man lieth down, this is 14:12, and riseth not up until the heavens be no more. They shall not awake, nor be raised out of their sleep. This is Job's thinking on the thing with God about everlasting life, realizing that Job is the oldest book written, we have in written form, in the Bible. So what privy did he have to scriptures? Who knows? Now, the scriptures, he's older than, I think, Moses, so it's really hard to understand, all right? So he goes on in verse 13. Oh, that thou would hide me in the grave, that I would keep me secret until the wrath past, that thou would appoint me a set time, and then remember me. What is Job saying here? I don't know what's going to happen to me, but how about this deal? Take me out of the troubles that I have right now, and put me in the grave and hide me, but don't forget me. What you see here is the amazing thing about the relationship that Job has with God. It is an amazing relationship. He's more concerned about the relationship than his death. If a man died, shall I live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. He can't see God forgetting him. Just like a son coming back, God's going to remember him and take him back. He says in verse 15, thou shalt call and I will answer thee. Thou will have desire to work of thy hands. God will want me back because he made me. For now thou numberest my steps. Does not thou watch over my sin? Okay, I'm a sinner. I know I'm a sinner. And he does not have an idea of how to deal with the sin that he has. So, for thou hast numberest my steps, and dost now watch over my sin. He knows God. He knows Job's sins. God knows all his sins. But listen to what Job says here. My transgression is sealed up in a bag, and thou sewest up my iniquity. So God took his sin and had it in a bag. He did not understand. Job is trying to figure out something here. I'm not a perfect man. He's even telling his friends this. I'm a sinner. But I have a relationship with God, and I know this. He's got him sealed up in a bag. Here's the problem. And I think this is in Job's mind. And he is not revealed to him yet until the New Testament, and he's not going to be around for that. But Job is actually given a gospel here. He sewed up my sin. How is he going to take out the garbage? How is he going to take out the garbage of Job's sin and dispose of it? Until God finds a way, hide me in the grave and call me when you're ready. And amen to that, because he did. Because God so loved the world, he sent his only begotten Son, that whoever believed in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And Jesus went to the cross for his blood to cover all the sin of all mankind. Whosoever will come to him. And God then is able to take that bag of garbage of sin and toss it behind them, and therefore maintain justice. Job knew that it would be just for God to judge him. But he knew God loved him so much that he was looking, or had a way already, to remove his sin. And Job was more concerned about dying to lose his relationship with God than he was about dying at all. Remember that. And so until next time, may Jesus increase as we decrease.